What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Mommy in Heels. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button to become part of the Heel gang, alright? I'm going to get right into this video, y'all. So one of my favorite dishes to cook for the fall is beef stew, only because it has so much flavor, so many veggies, and my kids love it. So it's a win-win for me, alright? So I hope you decide to make this, and I'm going to show you how easy it is, okay? So keep watching. Alright, first I'm going to start off by showing you guys the ingredients. Of course, you're going to have your veggies, you're going to have your seasoning, but one seasoning in particular that I love so much is it's better than bouillon, okay? Now, some people use beef cubes, but for me, I feel like this really brings the flavor out, and I've been using this for a while now, and I really love it, okay? I'll make sure that I also list all the ingredients in the description bar below, just in case I move too fast with this video, okay? Okay, so next we're going to take our meat. Our meat has already been cleaned, and I'm going to add a few ingredients. I'm going to add my pepper. I'm going to add my onion powder. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm also going to add some steak montreal seasoning. I'm not going to add any salt right now because this recipe is already has a lot of flavor going on, so I'm not going to add any salt in the beginning. I'm just going to use those basic ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and flavor my meat, and I'm going to give it a nice little stir. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm going to coat it really well, and we're just going to let that sit and marinate for a few minutes. And then the next up, I want to show you what I'm going to do with that beef bouillon seasoning. Alright, so while the beef is marinating, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut up our veggies. So I got some celery, I got some potatoes, I got some onions, I got some carrots, I got some red peppers. But basically you can use whatever veggies you want to use. This is your beef stew. Alright, so remember that beef bouillon that I kept raving about? Well, right now we're going to take a pot of water, about maybe 2 to 3 cups of water. It just depends on how much beef you have. We're going to take about 1.5 tablespoons of beef bouillon seasoning, and we'll get that nice little stir, okay? We're going to let that boil, and we're going to use that's going to go into our beef stew, alright? And when I tell y'all, this right here is so flavorful. It smells so good, and it gives it a nice gravy taste, okay? Alright, so while we let that simmer, we're going to go ahead and get another pot, a bigger pot, and this is what we're going to use to cook our beef in, alright? So we're just going to brown our meat, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We're going to take a pot, add some vegetable oil or some olive oil, whichever you prefer, and we're going to brown our meat for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, okay? Have the heat on like medium high because we're not going to cook it all the way. We just want to get it nice and brown. All right, just get the process going. And also, I'm not going to drain the meat. I'm going to use that the pot to also saute the veggies in. Okay, so make sure you do not get rid of that juice from the meat. Once you finish cooking it, keep everything in the pot because we're going to use that same grease, that same season that's in the pot. We're going to use that for our veggies. Okay. Yeah, and by this time everything smells so good. Okay, and that's how you want your meat to look. You want it to get brown. You don't want it to cook all the way. You know, we're not going to cook it. We just want it to brown on both sides. Okay, and it's going to give you a nice little gravy base. Now again, you want to take your meat out, and this is where you add the veggies. Okay, so we're going to add the vegetables that we cut earlier. We're going to add that to that same pot that we cooked the meat in, and this is also going to add some more flavor to our beef stew. Okay, so you're just going to take all of that. We're going to take the celery, we're going to take the onions, we're going to take the peppers. We're not going to put in the carrots or potatoes just yet, but we're just going to take everything else and throw it in that pot. And we're going to let that simmer. We're also going to add some garlic. If you want, you can add some more pepper. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add some thyme seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of paprika and a little bit of parsley flakes to this, okay? And we're just going to saute that. Okay, also in the veggies, we're going to add about a half can of tomato sauce or tomato paste, whichever you prefer. I'm not going to add the whole can because, as you know, tomato sauce is a very strong flavor, and I don't want it to overpower my beef stew. You're also going to take about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that right. But you're going to take about a tablespoon of that, and you're going to add that to the stew as well. And you can give it a nice little stir. And you guys, it smells so good. Your house is going to be smelling like love, okay? All the aromas from the veggies and the seasoning is going to have your house smelling like straight up old country cooking. All right, and this is what I've been waiting for. So we're going to add that beef bouillon. We're going to add that to our stew, and we're just going to give that a nice little stir as well. Whew, y'all, when I tell y'all, this smells so good. And we're going to let that simmer a little bit. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to add our meat, the meat that we browned. We're going to add that all to the pot. And then once we add the meat, we're going to add our carrots. We're going to add some more seasoning. I mean, at this point, you kind of have to taste it to see what you need to add. I'm adding a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. I cannot say that. Some more pepper, some more garlic. You basically want to add, you know, whatever seasonings you think it may need. My family loves seasoning, so yeah. All Alright, y'all, so this is where after we add our meat, we add our carrots, and we're going to throw a lid on this thing. Alright, we're going to let that simmer on medium heat for about 45 minutes. Then we're going to come back and add our potatoes. Alright, I don't like adding my potatoes at the beginning because I don't want my potatoes to be all soggy or whatnot, but we're just going to give that nice little stir and let that simmer, and then I'll show you what it's looking like. So this is about 45-50 minutes later, y'all, and if you can see the steam, I wish you guys can smell this. It smells so good, and you can kind of see like the meat is already tender. It's not the way I want it, so I'm gonna let it cook some more, but everything looks so good, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna add those potatoes in there, and I'm gonna let this cook again for maybe like another 25-30 minutes. You just have to test it out. You have to keep, testing it out and see if the potatoes are the way that you want them, and make sure that your meat is tender. Well, YouTube, here is the final results of my easy beef stew, one of my fall favorite dishes. I hope you guys try this recipe. It is certainly delicious, and I know your family will love it. All right, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye, YouTube.